In Patna, the capital of Bihar, hundreds of thousands of young people pack into cramped rooms every year, competing for a fraction of available government jobs. Take a look at this crowd. This is a typical scene in Patna, where educational banners layer the streets like movie posters. Here, teachers are often viewed as more than just instructors. They are seen as the only hope for students desperate for a stable career. Most of these students come from struggling agricultural families, pooling together small savings to pay for classes. However, when you multiply a tiny fee by hundreds of thousands of enrollments, those modest payments aggregate into an immense pool of capital. When you multiply those individual fees by hundreds of thousands of students, the result is a high-volume business where every enrollment represents a vital piece of market share. That tension reached a breaking point on the night of June 2nd. A mob of 15 to 20 people attacked Khan Global Studies. They threw stones, tore down promotional posters, and severely injured one of the private security guards. The founder, widely known as Sir, immediately offered an explanation. He claimed rival institutions orchestrated the violence because they were losing students to his aggressively low pricing model. Local police moved fast. Using early CCTV footage, they identified members of a neighboring institute in the mob. Within days, they arrested Roshan Anand, the director of a major competitor named Gyan Bindu. To the public, the narrative seemed complete. A benevolent educator offering cheap classes had been targeted by jealous competitors, and the law had stepped in to protect him. But the arrest triggered a massive reaction. Thousands of Gyan Bindu students flooded the streets around this white-domed pavilion, launching large-scale protests. These protesting students arrived with a new piece of evidence, a second video of the June 2nd clash. That footage showed Sir's own private security guards actively firing weapons into the crowd during the altercation. When investigators brought the guards in for questioning, the original narrative collapsed. The guards confessed to police that they did not panic under pressure. They were explicitly ordered to shoot at the mob. With this new evidence, the Gyan Bindu camp presented a totally different story. They argued the original vandalism was deliberately exaggerated by Sir's team, allowing them to play the victim and legally eliminate their biggest business rival. The discovery of armed retaliation turned a simple vandalism case into evidence of two massive educational corporations engaging in an orchestrated, armed turf war in the middle of the city. To understand why educators are exchanging gunfire, you have to look at the math of Patna's high-volume coaching market. This chart shows the recent results for the Bihar Police Constable exams. Notice the sudden, massive spike on the right side. That represents Gyan Bindu's highly disproportionate success rate in getting students selected. In a zero-sum market, a spike like that has immediate consequences. For competing institutes, every student Gyan Bindu successfully places is a direct hit to their own future enrollments. Following those test results, Gyan Bindu organized a massive, highly publicized award ceremony to celebrate their successful candidates. In a market this fragile, a public relations flex of that scale was perceived as an aggressive threat. The violence that broke out days later had absolutely nothing to do with educational philosophy. It was a violent reaction to shifting market share, driven by the fear of losing thousands of paying students. While the institute directors fight over market share, the actual cost is paid by the low-income students caught in the middle. Instead of studying for exams that could lift their families out of poverty, teenagers are being pushed into street protests to fight public relations battles for wealthy educators. Notice the intense scrutiny in this image. A police officer is strictly inspecting the documents of every single candidate in this queue. These students already face an incredibly rigid, high-pressure environment just to get a seat at the exam table. They endure immense stress trying to secure a legitimate career, while the very mentors they pay to guide them use criminal tactics to settle business disputes. In Indian culture, the guru is traditionally treated with deep reverence. That archetype shatters when educators resort to hiring armed guards and allegedly tampering with crime scenes to frame their competitors. For years, there have been rumors of a coaching mafia controlling the education sector. The gunfire on June 2nd dragged that reality out into the open, proving those rumors correct and eroding public trust. When the teachers trusted to help students escape a difficult system operate like rival factions, it leaves their followers with a profound sense of cynicism. The real casualty isn't the property damage, but the belief that education in Patna is still about the student.